anyone who is the proud owner of Beyoncé Renaissance Tour tickets, this message isn't for you. It's not for you because you can't relate to the pain of having this woman be famous damn near your entire life and then not being able to see her live because you have to pay your telephone bills, pay your automobiles, and then finally when all that's paid, all you can afford to do is just chill. Yeah, I don't think you do. Through all this ticket drama, I realized one thing. I don't want to be an independent woman anymore. I'm throwing my hands up at you because I need help. Look, I'm not saying I won't end up at the Beyoncé concert. I am a master manifester, okay? My manifestations just take a little bit longer because they like to party hop through the universe. And to be honest with you, right now, my life is on this whimsical trajectory, so I don't know where I'll be in July. I could be sitting front row center. But right now, all I can do is fantasize about these $4,000 tickets. Will Sean Paul surprise everybody and come out and sing Baby Boy with her? Will she have to choose between Listen or Halo? Because low-key, I'd pick Listen. When she sings Love on Top, is the key change going to be even more jaw-dropping in person? Who else will make cameos? Is Nicki Minaj going to come out and sing Feeling Myself? Or is Megan Thee Stallion going to come out and sing Savage? Or will they both come out causing a hip-hop explosion extravaganza? Fuck to the left, come to the right. If you have access to these tickets, I want to be in the crowd when she's singing Single Ladies so I can flap my hand back and forth while she pretends to relate to ever being single in her life. Now that's acting. At first I was really, really sad by these ticket prices. But then I thought about it, and she really has earned it. She's been our queen bee for as long as I can remember. And as long as all of us are going to agree to the social construct of money and not favors or bartering, then you really got to up your game if you want to see Beyoncé in concert. And I know a lot of people are upset that they can't go. But her words, not mine. Beyoncé, you won't break my soul. You might break my wallet, though. Duh. Welcome to the Rocky Rundown, where you get to learn a little bit about my week. Party God Squad, hello. Did you have a good week? I sure hope so. Mine was great. I was productive. It was relaxing, and I ended it watching the Grammys, which I thought was by far the best award show I have seen in a really long time. Let's get into it, shall we? Trevor Noah is really just the cutest host of all time. He's witty, he's charming, he's charismatic, he's fine as hell. Everybody likes him. Here's a tip. If you don't like Trevor Noah, it's you. It really is. I'd also like to address the elephant in the room. What was up with those small-ass 4-person tables, though? Isn't this supposed to be group seating like a wedding? It did look like the largest audience ever, so maybe they had to fit more people, I don't know. But those tables were really giving daytime Emmys energy and not 2023 Grammys energy. Bad Bunny opened the show, and have you guys been listening to Bad Bunny? Somebody's been listening to Bad Bunny because he was the most streamed artist of 2022. And I love that when he got an award, he gave his speech mostly in Spanish. And SNL, just on a sidebar, also did one of their sketches half in Spanish. And can Americans just start doing even more things where everyday programming is in both of these languages? It'll only make us smarter as a nation, and let's be real, Spanish is a sexier language. Y solo desearía ser fluida, pero nunca práctico. Brandy Carlisle is really having her Jennifer Coolidge of music moment, huh? I say that not knowing if she's been famous for 20 years or 2 years. But I'm here for the wins, baby. She sold out Madison Square Garden, so she has got to be popular. And I'm just seeing her everywhere in a way that I hadn't noticed before, which means nothing, but good for brands. Jennifer Lopez was absolutely serving looks for dinner. Please, if you're listening to this, share my podcast with at least one other person. So by the time I'm 50, I could keep my face tight like that. The internet is going crazy over this clip of her and Ben Affleck apparently fighting when Trevor Noah was sitting next to them. But if anyone's ever been in a relationship before, you know sometimes things can look like fighting when they're not fighting. He might have said something like, hey, let's go fuck in the bathroom. And she might have been like, no, I'm going to give you some of this 50-year-old face ride when we get home, baby. Now sit up straight. But the internet wants to speculate. And the truth is, we can speculate all we want, but we'll never know. So can we please just let J-Lo and Ben Affleck have their moment as a couple? Can any of us really handle the trauma of them breaking up again? No. So don't fuel the fire. They're America's favorite aunt and uncle. And I frankly don't want to have to make 2 pit stops at Christmas. Leave Bennifer alone. The best pop album category was full of bangers, and I bet you didn't know that there was a new ABBA album out, and it is not remakes of the same old songs. They wrote new songs, I assume. Harry Styles won that category, and I know I've talked about this man before and his general hotness and swag. When him and Chris Pine were doing press for that movie nobody watched, Don't Worry Darling, I know that he spit on Chris Pine. I saw the tape. You can say he didn't do it. The publicists can deny all they want, but I know what I saw. All I'll say is I wish he'd spit in my mouth. Spit in my mouth, you British bitch! All these random fans got to go to the Grammys, and I just feel like I should have been invited. I feel like I should be invited everywhere, and that's my sickness. Viola Davis, she got the EGOT, and she gave Beyonce the award for Best R&B Song for Coffee, 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 Baby. 2 things, when this award was given out, Beyonce wasn't even there yet. That's right, there was LA traffic. Which begs the question, where is your helipad, my girl? $4,000 tickets and you can't get to the chopper? Let me get out of this woman's pocket, respectfully. Smokey Robinson and Stevie Wonder performed, and it was a magical blast from the past because they wrote so many classics, and these motherfuckers make it to every one of my dinner party playlists. They cut the camera to The Rock, who's in the front row swaying along, and The Rock gets to be in the front row because somebody heard that Adele had never met The Rock, so they introduced The Rock and Adele to each other on live TV. Now this movie-making machine gets to sit front row at the Grammys. If that's not motivation to be well-liked, the way The Rock is well-liked, well then I can't help you. Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras won for Best Pop Duo Song. And that song absolutely fucks, okay? Bobby don't go, Bobby's getting hot on the body shop, doing something unholy. During their performance, Sam Smith made the Illuminati hand signal. And now conspiracy theorists are going to go crazy. The whole performance was devil themed. They made the Illuminati hand signal. It's like, yes, of course the Illuminati is real. Secret fraternities exist. I was in one. We didn't sacrifice anybody, but we did get free bagels every Friday morning, okay? And I didn't want to lose that free bagel privilege, so I didn't tell anybody about the secret fraternity that I was in. Why would celebrities tell us if they were in the Illuminati? Can you imagine the bagel spread that they get at these meetings? Get over it. Lizzo's performance, you already know she killed it. Harry Styles' performance, that was a lot of fun. I would have gotten dizzy, but that's just me. During one of the speeches, I found out that Harry Styles used to work at a bakery, which got me thinking, I wonder if he still specializes in pound cake. Cardi B came out, or as I like to call her, Cardi Triple B, Bad Bitch Beyond. She gave Kendrick Lamar the Best Rap Album Award. And if you are a tried and true member of this Party God Squad, then you already know 34 episodes ago, I told you to go listen to Kendrick Lamar's album. So if you haven't done that yet, that's on you. Go back to episode 74. Check out the thesis I wrote wrote, which is the new past tense of recite, all about his album Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Then go listen to his album, or vice versa. Listen to the album and then listen to my episode. But I put my heart and soul into my thoughts on that album. I love Steve Lacy's music, but tell me why Steve Lacy came out looking like Steve Wonder. And if you don't believe me, just Google him right now last night at the Grammys. Because I know he looked in the mirror and said, "Do I do?" LL Cool J made an appearance. The man literally does not age. He looked so good. Also, a lot of people might not have caught this, but back in the day on the TV network UPN, LL Cool J used to be on a TV show called In the House, where he played a nanny to a working mother and her 3 children. And when he was monologuing to everybody, he made a reference and he said "in the house." And secretly, I think he was referencing his UPN show. Only the real ones would get that, though. LL Cool J's first purpose at the Grammys was to present Dr. Dre with the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. And isn't that a life goal, to win an award that's already named after you? LL Cool J's second task was to perform in the 50-year tribute to hip-hop. They had so many iconic rappers up there. I mean, it was positively a most epic tribute. Everything cool in America stems from hip-hop. Beyonce did not win for Album of the Year. This caused a lot of controversy on the internet. Harry Styles did win, however, and although I bumped his album all summer long, Harry, we gotta work on our self-awareness. To say in your award speech, "This doesn't happen to people like me," it's not the move, my guy. I feel like I knew what he meant. Maybe he's an introvert, I would guess, or he's a quiet person, or maybe he was referencing his bakery days. I don't know. But you just have to be a little more self-aware. And also, it's an award speech. Tensions are high. Pressure is high. You're in a room filled with the biggest stars in the world. There's gonna be nerves. I'll let the internet drag him because honestly, late night talking was my shit, isn't it? I will say that Lizzo shouting out Beyonce at the end of her speech was so beautiful. Give people their flowers. Tell people they inspire you. There's nothing wrong with that, and it doesn't hurt anyone else. There's room for everybody to win, and if everybody just realized that, the world would be a better place. And you might think people who watch award shows are vapid. But as someone who watches award shows, I disagree. The Grammys ended epically with a performance from DJ Khaled, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, John Legend, and Jay-Z himself. They performed their song, "God Did," which is all about love, and we love love, and wanting to see your peers win, which is what I just said. And the title is God Did, because I think he's trying to say God believed in all of them, and all of them are there now, which, I mean, he's not wrong. It was very spiritual. Lil Wayne came out, and you know that's my baby. I love Lil Wayne. And one of his lyrics was, "God did his thing when he made me." Which I haven't related to a Lil Wayne lyric more since he said, "Motherfucker, I'm ill, not sick." That's my favorite. And then obviously Jay-Z sat front and center in a Last Supper-esque table, and he spit hot fire like Dylon. I thought it was the best award show I've seen in a really long time, and although watching celebrities celebrate isn't everyone's cup of tea, it is one of mine. And I really think in my core that good award shows can be a vessel of peace and unity. That brings us to Rocky's highest thoughts, my most stoned thoughts of the week. Number 1, where do people with amnesia go when they don't believe that they have a relationship with their loved ones, but they're still a fully functioning person? Number 2, when a new brand of electric car comes out, is it messed up to say I don't want to be in the first batch of testers? Number 3, every time I run for the subway and I catch it, I always feel like the movie of my life is about to start. Number 4, if you find yourself having hurt feelings or being annoyed with your at-home Alexa, then it's time for you to call some friends and get out of your house fast. My guest this week is comedian Liam Dalton. Liam is a tried and true New York City comic. He's funny, he's easy to be around, and he makes his presence known in both the most subtle and memorable ways. His wild word was bomb, which is appropriate because Liam is about to blow up. If you haven't done so already, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. You can follow me at Wild Nights with Rocky on TikTok and Instagram, at Wild Nights Pod on Twitter. If you want to watch extended interviews with all of my guests, please subscribe on YouTube. You can support the show for $2 or $5 a month by joining my Patreon. A big thank you to everyone who's written and everyone who will write a review when this episode is over. It really does make a difference. And now, please enjoy my Wild Nights conversation with Liam Dalton. Liam, welcome. Thank you for doing the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm a fan.
Oh, you are the sweetest. I'm a fan of you. We were just together less than 24 hours ago.
I know. We're going fast.
We're going fast. You were performing at St. Mark's Comedy Club. You killed it. It was so funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I needed to hear that because I have notes. I have a lot of notes on my set.
Do you really?
Yeah, I didn't feel great about it. I mean, it's never going to feel that great when it's a smaller crowd, but I felt like I hope no one else noticed, but I felt like I wasn't present enough.
Gotcha. Well, I honestly think that it's good that you have notes on yourself because you are the one that is with you every comedy show you do. You are the one who's like constantly trying to improve and see what works here and what works there. So if you are constantly critiquing yourself, then that's the only road to getting better is practice and critique.
True. And the only road to depression.
Well, there's many roads to depression, so
yeah, that's true. That's
you might as well, if you're gonna be depressed, you might as well take the funniest route, you know?
Good. Yeah, that's my motto.
But the good news is last night you surely did not bomb.
Wow. All right. First of all, don't call me Shirley.
I shouldn't have laughed that hard at that, but it was funny. So
that was almost as bad as yours.
Oh shit, Liam. Apparently he's very famous. Apparently not on the Lower East Side. So Liam's wild word, before he roasts me too hard, Liam's wild word was bomb. So Liam, take us on your wild night journey. Bomb.
All right. So I had this show let's say August. I'm going to say August.
Okay, so pretty recent.
Yeah, pretty recent. And I was like in a funk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was, not to get too serious, but I was in a weird place.
You can get serious.
All right, you know what? Let's get really serious.
Yeah, get real.
I just lost someone in my life.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, how the fuck am I going to do comedy now? Like I'm going to pretend to be happy or whatever. And I was also in a weird funk comedy wise because I carved out like a tight 5 that I liked, and I was doing it a lot and it was doing really well. And then I just had a couple shows in a row where it wasn't really doing as well as it usually does. And the words were exactly the same, but I just wasn't like all there. And I had this show where like a bunch of my friends came. I was at Stand Up New York. My friends came, some of my family came, and it was like this 5-minute set of like the same stuff that's been working really well. And it wasn't a bomb. It was not a bomb, but it was like very mediocre, which is almost worse.
Yeah.
It was like the stuff that I've been doing pretty well. Like, I don't want to sound like it was kind of killing. And then it's just like very like mediocre set. And I felt like gross. Like I felt like, oh.
Was this the first time they had come to see you? Or the first time in a while?
But one of my friends that was there, it was the first time they've seen me. Okay. And that's what was driving me crazy too. Cause I was like, I just want, whenever a set doesn't go great, I just want to show the audience a video of when that same stuff did well.
You're like, actually.
Like, no, trust me, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
And then that dude who's my friend, I was right away like sent him a link. I was like, no, this is what it's usually like. Trust me.
Yeah.
And but it's just like, I felt so shitty.
Yeah.
And then that night, I was out with my friends, and I felt shitty even before the show. Like I was just like super tired, like
Mhm.
didn't feel good, and I really just wanted to go home. But I was like, fuck it, like my friends are out, like they came for me. Let's go out. And I was like, I feel so bad right now. I just want to get drunk and like
Yeah.
go crazy. So even though I'm tired, let me push through and get fucked up. That's always a
Mhm.
good idea, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
always.
so I went out with my friends. My friends, for some odd reason, are obsessed with like the East, like those bars on like McDougal, like those
Yeah.
NYU like frat type of bars. I don't
Thunder
know.
Jacksons and all
Yeah,
those.
off
Yeah.
the wagon.
Oh, yes, yeah, down the hatch.
Yeah, like my friend who loves it the most. I'm not gonna say his name, but Carlos
Yeah.
loves it the most. He's like 30 years old. It was like these are all 21-year-olds from NYU.
Yeah.
This cannot be further from 30-year-old Carlos from the Bronx.
Yeah.
And but whatever, he loves to go there. And I was like, fuck it, let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
went, and we're getting fucked up. We're getting fucked up. And I am a reformed uh bar fighter.
Same.
I'm not like Sam.
Same,
Yeah, I can
same.
see
Yeah.
that. I can see that. I don't know if you're reformed though. You went pretty hard the other night.
What?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, but I never actually got into fights, but I would always be like ready to fight for
That's the
some
Irish in
reason.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like 4 drinks, and it's like, all right, who wants to fucking go?
Who
It
looks
was
at
like,
me crazy? She bumped
yeah,
my arm. Yeah, yeah,
for
exactly.
no reason. Meanwhile, it's like none of that is on purpose.
Exactly.
But so I used to be like that,
Mhm.
and there's been a couple times where I've gotten thrown out of places when I did not deserve it at all. These are all right. I'll give you a side story. So
Please.
this is gonna be the longest podcast ever.
I love it.
Uh, so like, there's been times where I've gotten thrown out where I shouldn't have gotten thrown out,
Mhm.
and then there's been like 1 or 2 times where I should have gotten thrown out where I didn't. But every time I've gotten thrown out, I didn't deserve it. Like one time, I literally, I was talking to this girl, and then like 3 seconds later, some like big Italian dude in Brooklyn was like, "Yo, don't talk to her." And I just right away was like, you know, she was talking to me, right? And then he disappeared, and this like dude who looked like his bodyguard stepped in right away. Was like, "Chill." And I was like, "No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him." And then I stepped towards him, and then next thing I know, I was out of the bar. Like I
Oh
was
my
in
god.
fucking a full Nelson by these 3 bouncers. I was like, they must be in the mob or something, because
Yeah,
I didn't
something.
even. Yeah, and then there's been a couple other times like that, but in the past like 2 years, I've been like, yeah, I'm off that. Whatever. Anyone can say anything to me. I don't give a shit. I'll make a joke. I'm not gonna. I don't want to fight anyone. I don't want to get hit.
Water off your
And
back.
yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Mhm.
Like I'll probably say something that might end up getting me hit, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. I'm gonna try to avoid fights at all costs. So
Good.
then this night, I don't give a shit. I'm like relapsing.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm not. Let me rephrase that. I'm not relapsing. We'll we'll do a little scratch on that one.
Scratch. Yeah.
This night I'm not relapsed.
Not
I'm
relaxed.
still I'm ready to get fucked up, but I'm not trying to fight anyone. I'm just having a good time.
Gotcha.
My friend, I'm not gonna say his name, but my friend Carlos,
Mhm.
he's not reformed from getting into fights.
Okay.
So we're at off the wagon, like typical NYU kids, and
Yep.
someone like spilt a drink from the second floor, and I
Ooh.
see him just sprint up stairs, and I'm like, oh no. So I follow him with no intentions of like, let's fight someone. I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop him from doing whatever. And I'm so scared because I'm like, he's gonna fucking do something stupid.
Mhm.
I get up there, and by the time I get up there, he's like buddy to buddy with these people from Nebraska. He's like, "Oh, it was them. It was an accident. They're visiting from Nebraska. These guys are great." And
Oh
it
my
was just
god.
like, "Oh, that's cool. Whatever. This is fun." And we were talking to them, whatever. And then I'm like, "Oh, thank God!" Like I was so worried something was gonna happen. All right,
Yeah.
let's go back to having a good time. Then, like 30 minutes later, my phone is dead, and I'm trying to find a charger. And the next thing I know, my friends are gone, and I'm like, "What? Where is everybody?"
So
So I
they
walk
left
out.
you.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I walk outside, and I see my friend who, again, I'm not going to name, but Carlos was out there,
Yeah.
and he
We'll just call him
was,
Carlos, cause
yeah, let's just
right?
say
We protect the innocent and not so innocent, so Carlos is his name.
Yeah, it's also
Mhm.
his government name. But when we got out, I got outside and I see him screaming at the bouncer. Him and the bouncer are like face to face. And I go to my other friend, I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. They just like threw him out. Like apparently some girl spilled a drink on him. And then he started yelling at her and they threw him out. And I'm like, oh my God. And he
So
won't.
another girl threw a drink on him?
Yeah, this one was
Wow.
intentional though. This one was someone
Gotcha.
right next to him. I
Poor
never got
guy.
the full story of why or what happened.
Yeah.
I'll add him to the Zoom and we'll get the full story. But so I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And so I see like something switch in him where he's just like ready. Like you could see it in his eyes.
Yes.
He's screaming at the bouncer, and then the bouncers are like getting fed up and they're like turning around. And the other bouncers coming in there. Bouncer. To be fair, like he was completely in the wrong, but the bouncers were egging it on. I fucking hate bouncers. I'm whatever. And then they were egging him on,
Right.
and anytime we would finally calm him down, the bouncer would be like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." I'm like, oh, "Shut up, we're trying." Yeah, I'm anti-bouncer.
Anti-bouncer.
Anytime we would calm him down, then the bouncer would be like, "Yeah, fucking pussy." I'm like, "What are you doing here?"
Don't
Like,
do that. Yeah.
and then finally, like this is going on for so long. We'll calm him down, then he's back, and then oh, this is the worst part, is that at one point, like he's obviously really drunk and he
Yeah.
slaps the ground and he goes, I'm from the Bronx. And then there's like, we don't give a fuck. Like, who
Yeah.
cares? That's probably the worst. Like he got kicked out of the bar and he's like, yeah, but I'm from the Bronx though, as if they would
Yeah.
be like, oh, so sorry, sir. Right
Yeah.
this way. Had no idea you were from such royalty.
Please come back in. Let us get that red carpet first.
Yeah. Drinks on the house. That's like the worst. Oh man, when someone has to scream where they're from.
Yeah.
And eventually the bouncer's like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. And he squares up. And then he starts fighting the bouncer. And then, by the way, throughout this whole thing, there's like 7 just random dudes next to the bouncer. They're not bouncers. They're kind of like kids in like their early 20s
Okay.
in wife beaters, just like,
Yeah.
or sorry, guinea tees.
Yeah.
Sorry, just like standing there, just watching. And then as soon as this happens, a bunch of people jump out of nowhere, including
Yeah.
those people. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck. And in my head, like, I'm still reformed, so I'm like, can't get into a fight, not throwing any punches, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my friend is like basically about to get jumped.
Mhm.
So I jumped in. All I did was stop one of the people from coming in. So I just grabbed him to take him off of that circle.
Yeah.
And in that split second where I grabbed someone to take them off, I just got hit from behind in the eye twice. And it all happened in a second. And then everything was done. And I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what happened. And then I like get up, everyone's gone. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And then right next to Off the Wagon is a comedy club, Grizzly Pear.
Yeah.
And I just hear someone go, Liam, is that you?
Oh
And
no.
I'm like, fuck. He's like, what are you doing, man? And I'm like, oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
And then, as if that didn't just happen, this guy, let's call him Carlos, gets right back to yelling at the bouncer. I'm like, what? Did you not see what just happened? Like,
Yeah.
this is done. Like, stop. My
Tap
cousin, yeah, my cousin who was in that brawl too, like disappeared at this point. We're like, yo, we don't even know where
Yeah.
he is. Like, let's calm down. And then there's like a crowd forming of watching this crazy man yell at a bouncer. This crowd doesn't even know that I just got sucker punched in the
Yeah.
face. And then this is all going on. The cops are coming. And then I'm just like so confused. And then I go over to the comics. I'm like, I'm gonna have 5 minutes on this by Monday. And I ended up I woke up with a black eye and a concussion.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So now I'm reformed from even breaking up fights. I tell my friends now, I'm like, I have retired to selfishness
Yeah.
If anyone gets in a fight, I'm walking the other way.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Like I had shows that week that like I couldn't do
Because of the black eyes.
because and mostly the concussion, like the pain was bad. And
Wow.
then the next week I had a show and I have a black eye. I'm like I have to address it. I
Yeah.
can't just do 10 minutes and not adjust that I have a
No, you
huge
can't.
black eye.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing like a whole set about having a black eye. I'm like I can't risk this again. Like this is so yeah. I'm retired. Like I will not help anybody anymore.
Well,
But I say this, I call this bomb because that whole set, that set earlier that day, I felt so shitty. I was like, there's no worse of a feeling than having such a mediocre set.
yeah.
And I got punched in the face. This might be worse than a bomb.
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show you it can always, no matter what, it can always be worse.
Yeah. But it's also like, oh, I had a shitty set. I might as well get punched in the face today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's better to get punched in the face on the day that you have the shitty set than like have the shitty set, then the next day you get punched in the face, then the
That's
next
true.
day you have a concussion. It's like all in succession, but taking up your whole goddamn week.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a bad week.
So it could always be worse. That's
For
wild. So
sure.
so since then, this happened in August. Since then, that's only a few months ago, but you've been pretty chill when you've been out and your crew's been pretty chill.
Yeah, well, like a couple months later, I was out with like a couple of my friends, not them. They were
Mhm.
out and we were out separately. And
Yeah.
they were in the Bronx and I was just like chilling whatever. I had been like I'm good since then. But
Yeah.
I show up and I've told them I'm not helping anybody.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm happy. I'm trying to
Yeah.
just be chill, like having a good
Yeah.
time. Not here for any of that stuff. None of it is worth it. Because
Mhm.
I even view not to get all like spiritual or
No,
something,
you
but
can.
like that I view that as like that had to happen because maybe if that didn't happen, another time I would have tried to help one of my friends, and then you never know, someone might have a knife or a gun or like
Yeah.
like you that was we got lucky, even though I was the
Yeah.
only one that got fucking hurt. Fucking Carlos or whatever his name is.
Whatever his
Uh
name is.
like it's just like never worth it. Even if there's no weapons and you win the fight, you
Yeah.
can hit someone, they go down, they crack their head, you're going to jail. Like there's no win. So
Yeah.
I want no problems with anybody. But anyway, this next time
Mhm.
that I met them, they were in the Bronx and I got there and I just see a crowd of people and like I see fighting going on and I'm like, oh wow, like we should probably just go.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get in touch with my friends. And then I'm like, wait, is that? And it was my friends. And I was like, I'm not even like I'll talk to him when he's in the corner of the ring,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
talk him
yeah.
down, but I'm not getting involved.
Yeah. You
Yeah, but
can't. You can't. If it's so tough too because I'm sure it sounds to me you said your cousin was there at the other fight and your friend Carlos maybe is his name. But it sounds like to me and just knowing you for the short amount of time that I've known you, I feel like you're one of those guys who's had the same friends and friend group for a minute. Like y'all are tight.
yeah, yeah, kinda. Yeah, at this point now, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you've been through some stuff. Like you just that's the energy that you give me like somebody who's going to be like a ride or die friend.
Oh,
But
thanks.
if you are hanging out with people who constantly want to fight, that's a low vibration. Like you said, it felt like maybe some kind of like spiritual intervention that this had to happen so it doesn't happen again in the future. But yeah, you kind of have to be like, ooh, peace. Like let's just go out and do our thing. Like let's not let anybody else's negative pockets get into our vibration.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I've had a lot of talks with my friend, whatever that guy's name is,
Whatever it
and
is.
he gets it. Like he knows he's working on it. So
Yeah,
he
yeah. It takes time. Everybody's at a different pace with
yeah,
everything.
for
The
sure.
last time I almost got into a fight was I was at it was right before the pandemic. I was out and we were at this bar and I noticed my debit card is red. And I noticed there was a debit card on the ground and there was like a booth full of all of our coats and bags And this girl was like going through the group that I was with. She was like going through all our coats and bags and stuff. And I was like, what is this girl doing? And then I saw my card on the floor, but then I picked it up and it wasn't my card. It was my friend's card. She had a red bank card too. And then I like put it away safely because that would have been a disaster the next day. Like
Yeah.
she would have had no idea where her card was. So I put it away safely in her bag. And then I see the girls like going back to our coats. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? There's nothing for you over here in this booth. And she was like, oh, I lost my jacket. I go, well, your jacket's not over here.
Yeah.
Like, this is not where your jacket's at. And she's like, well, I need to check. And I was like, no, you don't need to check. And my arm, like in her face, my arms are in the air. And my friend just came bolting across this crowded ass bar and like got in between us.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry. For those who are
Yeah.
listening and not watching, you just said and then you did almost like a punch motion. So I thought you just swung on this girl.
No, I didn't swing, but I was very like in her face, like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Stop going through people's things. Like, we're all drunk
Yeah.
at this bar. Like, you have no business over here. Like, this is
Yeah.
how shit's falling out of our bags. Like, there's so many coats. Like, stop. And my friend just told me that my arms were flailing in the air. And that's like she said it was like a air traffic controller. And she ran across the bar and she got in between me and this girl. And I just was like, she's knocking down your shit. She's knocking down our shit. And she's like, I know, but calm down. Like you go over there. And she like handled the girl. And I don't know where it would have led to, but I think that was my last time being like, I don't want any
That's
part of
good.
that. I think I would have maybe been a little bit more calm. I've done a lot more mushrooms since then. So I'm a lot more zen, but
Yeah.
I feel you on being reformed on the bar fights. It's not worth it.
That's good. Yeah, that's good that it only ended up being just that too. Cause it would
And that just
nothing
shows,
more than that would have been
yeah,
worth
and being out with people who have your back, but like,
it.
you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But you can't expect people to intervene every time you're ready to get into a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I almost like completely 180 flipped like when I stopped. It was almost like I didn't do any mushrooms, but it was almost like I was just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that anymore. And then I
Yeah.
completely went from like situations like that. I probably would have been like ready to go right away. And then
Yeah.
now I'm like the guy who's like making friends with dudes in the bathroom. I
Yeah.
completely like I'm like let's everyone have a good time together. And
Yeah.
before I was just like, fuck you looking at? And it's like so stupid. It's like nothing good comes from that. And then like one of the first times I went out since my what do you call it? My spiritual awakening, maybe.
Intervention. Yeah, your spiritual intervention.
Yeah, I went to a bar in Rockaway with
Uh-huh.
different friends, and as soon as we got there, there's this dude who like it was such a tight
Hmm.
bar, and this dude was kind of like bumped into me when he was walking by, and I thought nothing of it. I'm just like, it's a packed bar. He's probably
Yeah.
drunk. And then I guess he bumped into everyone. I just met this dude,
Yeah.
and then he bumped into this dude that I just met, and and they were, I guess he hit him or something. They were like face to
Yeah.
face. This drunk dude is like he's like 6'5", ripped in a camo
Yeah.
Trump hoodie that's 3 sizes too small for him. Like
Yeah.
he definitely just wanted to fight.
He was
And
looking
then
for something.
yeah, and he's face to face with this dude who I just met, and my friend is like in the middle of him, like, bro, we just met this guy. Like, we don't. What's this blind loyalty you have to him? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not
No, no.
gonna. I'm fucking walking the other way. And of course, it's like a Rockaway bar, so there's no bouncer. The bartender comes out from the other side of the bar, kicks him out, and then
Yeah.
goes back behind the bar, and then the dude comes back in, orders a drink, and like nothing happened. But I'm
Yeah.
like, something small like that, like I don't. It's also just like a masculinity thing of like,
Yeah.
oh, someone's fighting. Oh, I got to get involved. Oh, someone bumped into me. It's like nothing is that. There's no reason for that.
Yeah. There is no reason for it. And I'm glad that both of us have hit our reformed mark. We're peaceful people
Yes.
now. And you,
Yes.
being the peaceful person that you are, you're bringing lots of joy to the world with your comedy.
Ah, thanks.
And you're just a young buck, but you are already so seasoned. And
Oh,
I haven't asked you this in person, but when did you start doing comedy?
um, I started last March actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild. Last March. So you haven't even
Thanks.
been doing stand up for a year?
No, it'll be a year. My first open mic was March 15th last year.
That's wild. You're
Thanks.
you're really on a great trajectory, Liam, like in a
Ah,
big
thank you.
way, in a big way.
Thank
That
you.
I'm just so proud to know you this
Ah,
early on
thanks.
too. That's so exciting.
That's nice of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so what made you kind of get started? What were you like? Was everyone saying how funny you were? Were you just kind of, it was always you were itching to try it? What was the deal?
I kind of like I was always I was the class clown growing up. I
Uh-huh.
was that guy. And I never really it's funny, I was thinking about it recently that I remember when I was like 16, I
Mm-hmm.
said to my friend, like, maybe I should try stand up. And he was like, nah, I don't. And then I didn't. He was like,
Yeah.
you have to have a, I forgot what he called it. Uh, like a broad sense of humor. I don't know, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so that's the first time other than that, I never really had a thought about it.
Uh-huh.
And then as I got older, I was like, I would love to do that. And I
Yeah.
just told myself, I can't do that. That's me. I can't do that. And
Yeah.
then after like the past maybe 8 months before I actually started it, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I really want to do it, but I don't know. I don't
Always
know.
the butts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was writing, but I wasn't doing anything about it. And then finally I built up the courage to do it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I went all in and I like haven't stopped.
That's amazing. So what
Thanks.
shows do you have coming up in the city that people can check out next?
Tonight, I don't. When does this come out?
This will be out Monday the 8th. Or wait,
Monday. The
Monday. So the Monday was the 31st, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. So it'll be out the 6th, February Monday, February 6th.
Okay. Cool. Uh, I'm producing a show February 23rd at QED in Astoria.
Amazing.
You should come through.
Yeah.
It's in your hood. Uh, it's called Coming to America.
I
And
loved the poster.
oh, thank you. Yeah, me and my friend Jamel are running that. That's I have other shows in between then, but that's the one I'm really pushing right now. And then
Amazing.
I, I'm doing a monthly show at the Harry Lemon on the Lower East Side. It's gonna be the last Wednesday of every month. We just sold out the first one, and this one I think it's not definite yet, but I think it's gonna be February 15th. So
Amazing.
those are the two shows I'm pushing heavily.
And then February 8th, of course, Secret Society show at St. Mark's Comedy Club.
Yes, I don't know if am I on that?
I feel like you might be on this one. I don't
All
want to
right.
put the cart before the horse, but I think my spidey senses tell me that I think you're probably going to be on this one or involved in some way.
Okay, cool.
You
I'll be
crushed
there
last
anyway.
Yeah, you crushed last night.
Thanks.
So Liam, give everybody your social media so they can find you, follow you, and learn from your zenness.
Thanks. I hope I don't relapse now.
Well, if it
Yo,
has to be done, it has to be done.
I really felt like as soon as I flipped, I really felt like a former alcoholic that like you know how like they say like when people get sober then they start seeing how everyone else is an alcoholic.
Yes, yes, yes.
I really felt like, oh, these guys are and then they're judging people. I'm like, these
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
fighting for no reason. Meanwhile, like last week I was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Um, but you can follow me at Liam Dalton Live, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, YouTube,
Amazing.
TikTok.
Well, follow Liam. We're gonna hop off here because we need to check our family tree. Both of our family is from Cork, Ireland, so we need to make sure we're fingers crossing that we're cousins.
Wait, can I
Um,
just say before if my
please,
family listens to this, they might come at me for that. So my family is originally from Mayo and
okay.
Westmeath, but I have some of the Westmeath cousins now live in Cork. So
It is
I've
good. It is good that you clear that up. Mayo and Cork are neighbors. For
mhm.
anybody checking out the map of Ireland, they are neighbors, so it's easy to hop from one county to another.
Nice. I like that. That's good.
Thank you. My Irish family said it's terrible.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do a really bad one, so to me that's great. Also,
um,
I gotta say to
Say it.
Carlos, I love you. I'm sorry for saying this. I was gonna text him before this, be like, "Yo, is it cool if I tell this story?" But I'm like, I got a concussion. Like I
Yeah.
could tell that story out. But I love you, Carlos.
We love you, Carlos. You're a star. I'm sure I'll meet you one day, and I look forward to it.
You
And
will.
Liam, let's keep making moves together, shall we?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I love the podcast. You're the
I
best.
thank you. You're the best, Liam. You and I will talk soon. All right.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Peace.